All right, we can call this to order. It's 12 o'clock. So introductions? Start there. Are you ready? Are we not muted? Okay. I'm Diane Flowers, Chair of the BPAC.
Bob Nash, Redmond, rep on VPAC.
David Green, Vice Chair.
Wendy Holzman, member.
Pat Adabo, member.
Jennifer Letts, co-vice chair and sisters rep. Tanya Saltzman, county staff liaison.
Welcome back, Tanya.
Thanks.
Chris Chang, NODOT.
Dave Roth, VPAC.
Zoom folks.
We got Megan.
Megan's here.
Henry Stroud, Ben Parks and Rec.
Anthony Achinelli, Lapine, BPAC rep.
Matt Muchna, at large BPAC member.
I think that's everybody, right? And Megan.
Megan Winchell, at large VPAC.
Great. You don't have any publics? The comments? Just, Tanya, you want to talk about what happened with the notes from last month? So just.
Yeah, there's no minutes because normally I take notes during, as you know, and I wasn't there last last meeting.
It's been a long month.
My cognitive decline is advancing. And the audio was so crappy that I could not transcribe. So apologies for that. I could have probably taken a long time and done it, but it would have been a beast. So we do have I did post the recording if you're really interested. It's a little kind of sound, but you can hear some of it. So apologies for that. So in the future, we'll have, if I'm not there, I'll have someone actually take notes, assign someone to do that. And normally if it's in here, it's not an issue.
I was gonna say, it's probably just a combination of all things,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Being
Yeah.
gone and us being in,
I won't go on vacation again.
or we won't go somewhere else.
Yeah.
We'll go with you.
I mean, I was biking, so
We'll have our meeting with you.
that would be great.
All right. So let's see, Hero Award. Anthony and Neil's not here and Mark.
He's here now.
Oh, all right, good. Even though we caught him with his mouth full. Neil, any updates on the award?
No updates.
Okay. So we've kind of been dragging this one along. Are you and Mark kind of working on that? Figuring out where we're going or? Is he
Yeah,
kind
let me check back in on our timeline. I know I was gone for a little bit, so we put things on pause. But I'll check in on the timeline to figure out where we need to go to get things back on schedule.
Okay, and I know Mark wasn't gonna be here this week, so, or this month. All right, cool, thank you. Anthony, all you, since hope you're feeling better. Sound like
Yeah, that was rough. That was not a good time. It was like basically 3 weeks of October between myself, my wife, and my kid. It was really it's really not fun. And the timing really couldn't have been worse. So I appreciate your patience with that. That was really annoying. I'm not sure there's a better word for it than that. Like really I missed a lot of stuff. That was really the worst timing. So anyway. Yeah, anyway, how was it? Did everybody got down here safely and they had the place set up and stuff for you guys and all that?
Yeah, it was, yes, yeah.
Yeah,
It was good.
Okay. All right, well, we'll take it. Okay, do you want me just to kind of start talking about?
Jump in and give us your update from Lapine that you were going to give us in last month.
Yeah, so I kind of wish there was more of an update to give. So as you guys know, last year Lapine got awarded the Transportation Management Grant. And while that is still happening and we still have the grant, with the recent layoffs in the federal government, the people that are in charge of that grant are like super backed up. So there's not enough people to work on it. So what's happening now is we have to wait and wait and wait. We spoke to a rep up in Hood River last month, and they had to wait. They got this. They got awarded the same grant we did, and they had to wait 9 months before their scope of work got accepted and started to get worked on. We're at 5 months waiting now, and until that goes through, there's no real update to give. We have to lump in BPAC and the pedestrian paths and the bike paths and bike racks and safety and all that in with this new transportation update. So we're just kind of waiting, we're just waiting. We don't know what for. We don't know how long it's going to take. So in the meantime, I've just been speaking with the city planners and speaking with local businesses about getting bike racks in. There's like in terms of Lapine, a fairly large shopping center that we have that just put in a really nice bike rack. It's covered and it's been built from the ground up. Beautiful pergola looking building with covered bike racks and bike tools, and it's pretty cool. So it's neat to see that somebody's hearing me ask them for places to park bikes. Now we just need to get we just need to get the federal government to start working on the project that we want to get working on. Yeah, otherwise just kind of moving along, getting bike racks, getting new sidewalks. They changed the makeup of the sidewalks now, so they won't crack and break as winter comes along every year. Yeah, that's kind of, I wish I had, there's nothing concrete yet. There's all these plans. So like, we're hopefully planning to get a cyclocross race down here next year, which would be fun to bring bikers down here. I've been speaking with Mudslinger Events about maybe getting a big gravel race down here in the next couple of years. So we're hoping that this all sort of comes together at the same time, where people come down to visit and race and ride bikes, and they also see that businesses have bike racks and bike tools, and it's bike friendly and pedestrian friendly. It's just hard to do without knowing exactly what we're going to be able to do with this grant money.
And is the grant money for just putting a plan together, like a TSP plan, or is the grant money actually for projects?
Yeah, so right now it's just putting the plan together.
Okay.
So the city has shown them what they want to do, and now it needs to be looked at, hopefully approved in its entirety, and then starting to get worked on. But we just, like I said, we just don't know what we don't know. Yeah, it's frustrating for sure. Otherwise, that's it. It's super short. I wish I had more, but we're working on stuff. And that's about all we can do.
Yeah.
I don't have any data on the newish, like actual concrete data. I signed up for, so you guys have to remember too, like Lapine is not only is it really small, but it's also like, I want to say brutally rural, where it's like so point being, I signed up for Strava. Strava has this this business app, essentially this development app that shows you how much pads are being used and where they're being used. You get all this data from them. It's awesome for a city like Bend because a large majority of people use Strava all the time. Just, I mean, on their commute to work, they Strava and it gets uploaded. So it's constantly getting this information. Nobody here uses Strava. Like I can go out and use Strava and get a KOM on like every route I go on because nobody else uses it, right? I'll be the first and only one to ride that route and upload it. And because of that, it's really hard to get information on stuff like this unless you go out and do, like, you actually have a city engineer go out, like, report the traffic on it, right? So the only sort of feedback or any sort of data I have is anecdotal, and the path is very, very busy. It's like you very rarely can you walk or ride it without encountering, I don't know, probably 8 to 12 people on it. It's a little less than 2.5 mile trail, so 5 miles round trip. I know that we're working on trying to get benches installed because a lot of the A lot of the elderly walkers or those with disabilities have mentioned that since it is so long at 2.5 miles one way, that getting there and back at 5 miles and not having a spot to sit and breathe or sit and have a snack is pretty tough. So hopefully we can get a couple of those put in. But they've already built the little outcroppings for them. We just need to get them in there, and then I think it'll go up from there. But it's cool. I'm on it almost every day. I love it.
Who would put those benches in?
Hopefully the city.
City?
So,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. We
A
got
little faster maybe than waiting for a government grant to do it, so that's good.
for sure. Yeah, and we have a handful of just local artisans that build benches and whatnot that have offered to donate it all. We just need to
Okay.
figure out the logistics of how we're going to put them in. And there's
Okay.
all like the other stuff too. It's like, okay, so if we put benches in, you hope that they're used for sitting, but are those benches going to be used for people sleeping or camping or, putting up somewhat permanent residence? So there's all these like little intricacies that we're trying to figure out. If it's like, it just, yeah, the conversation always reminds me of like, you want more space in your house, so you put something up, you put like add to a countertop or put an island in your kitchen, and then that place just becomes a spot for things to collect, right? It's like we want this to be where we cut our food to make our dinner, but instead it just becomes a collection of thermoses, because every time there's a flat surface, people just sort of set up shop. That's where we keep coming back to it with. So I don't know if it's going to happen, but it would be pretty cool. Otherwise,
Hi, it's Michelle.
yeah.
I have a
Yeah, go ahead.
hi Anthony. And hi everybody. I'm here remotely representing Ben Lafine Schools. I wasn't able to attend in person today, so I can't see everybody in the meeting room. So perhaps there's somebody from the county road department around the table, or the planning department. But Anthony, it's my understanding, and this county could speak more details about this, but I do know that the county has some pedestrian facility upgrades in a preliminary design phase for Coach Road area, Lapine Middle School, high school area, and of course the elementary school is right there too. And I just want to make sure that the group knew that. I mean, this is a BPAC meeting, and that's something that we've been advocating for from the school system, to have some better pedestrian facilities around the schools there. So I'm excited to share that, and I'm sharing that on behalf of the Deschutes County Road Department, because they updated about this during our most recent Safe Routes to School Coalition meeting. So I don't know if anybody, again, if anybody is around the table there at the meeting room, if there's anybody from the county who could update further about that. But I think it's just really exciting that we all should be aware that that advocacy does make a positive difference, and the Deschutes County Road Department listened to us. So
Wow, that's awesome. I hadn't heard
that's
of that
going to
yet. Thank
happen.
you. Wow.
Mhm.
We don't have the road department here. I'm just the planning department, so I'm not privy to that. You know
Just?
more than I do. Just, yeah. But that's great. Yeah, that's all. I don't have any details. I know that the road department has been working hard on all the safe route stuff. And yeah, thanks for that update.
Yeah. And also, I guess I would add, and because I know, Anthony, you were representing more formally the city of Lapine in this, your update from the planning commission, right?
Yeah.
But also related to Lapine is that Ben Lapine Schools is hosting a special commemorative event in Lapine a week from this Friday for Ruby Bridges Walk to School Day. And so I'd be happy to send the information out to this group, but that's another thing that's happening in Lapine. It will involve Lapine Elementary and Roslyn Elementary. We're going to have a gathering at the district, Parks and Recreation District Gymnasium on that morning. And there'll be some group photos and some speeches, and then both schools, all the students, it's a field trip for them, and they're going to actually walk from the district gymnasium across to Lapine Elementary carrying Ruby Bridges Walk to School Day banners. And that's going to be more, again, a pedestrian event. And Deschutes County Sheriff's Department is going to do traffic control for us at that intersection of First and Morrison, Anthony, so that we can have like potentially hundreds of students crossing the road safely to get back to Lapine Elementary, and then they'll get on a school bus to go back to Roslyn that morning.
Michelle,
So
do
if
you,
anybody wants to go, I'd be happy to send you some information about it, but it's a formal event for Walk to School Day that morning.
do you know, Michelle, if there is a place in Lapine where like residents could figure this out, could hear about this? Like, do we have a central bulletin board of some sort, or like because I've noticed that, like, for example, Halloween. So we went to Bend for the downtown Halloween trick or treat, and then on our way back into Lapine, it was incredible. It was like hundreds and hundreds of kids going up and down 97, crossing the street. But what was cool about it is that there were these huge trucks that were sitting on the crosswalks that were all Halloween themed, and there were ushers ushering kids back and forth across the crosswalks, and it was unlike anything I'd ever seen. I live here. I don't, I mean, I work here, and I didn't even know that was happening. So I'm curious, like with things like this, rather than just sort of sending out an email to those of us that have government emails or that are in the know, if there's a way we could work on something to get people to know about this type of stuff. Because
Yeah.
while it feels
Well, I
like at
could-
times it's not very safe to walk around here, seeing what I saw on Halloween sort of proves that that's not true. And we've got lit up sidewalks and lit up crosswalks. We should be able to walk a lot. So
Well, I can share that this this is going to be on the November 12th, City of Lapine City Council agenda.
Okay,
We've
cool.
got two Lapine High School students who are actually going to come and do their presentation speech at the city council meeting that night on the 12th. And then they're also doing that same speech at the event. Yeah, thank you. Somebody, Matt, thank you for putting that out there. Yeah, so it is going to be at the district, the Parks and Recreation District Gymnasium. People from the public can attend if they want to. But again, we have it on the city council agenda for the 12th. We're also going to be doing a news release. The family messages and permission slips for the field trip have gone out. They're going out like now. The permission slips are already circulating. Your child might have brought something back already. I can't remember if you're a student, if your child is in school. And then, so yeah, there will be a press release about it as well.
right
We're hoping to, and again, having Deschutes County Sheriff's Office physically there, they're going to block the intersection, do traffic control, detour vehicles. I even had to apply for a permit from the city of Lapine. So it's a real thing and it's happening. So hopefully the word will circulate out there.
Okay, cool. Perfect. That's awesome. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for sharing that.
And a question for Anthony.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anthony, and I know it's all anecdotal, but what is the trail use like when it starts getting colder, darker? I wonder, are people in Lapine more hardy and than we are up in the balmy north part of the county? But
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure what the path is made out of, but for whatever reason, it's always paved. Like it doesn't seem to matter really how much snow we get. It's always cleared. I've never seen anybody plowing it. I haven't heard of anybody that does it, so I don't know what goes on. But yeah, like a lot. 11 out of 12 months of the year, it's free and clear, and it's awesome. In the winter, it's used a lot. We don't yeah, like Lapine is so small that our options for walking around, especially when it's, we get 9 feet of snow a year, get pretty limited. That path is used a lot. It's used a lot. Like I said, it's very rare that you go on it and you don't see a handful of people, which again, like a handful of people isn't a lot if your city is 100,000 plus, but when your city is 2,000 people, even to see 10 people on it it's a lot of people,
Yeah.
So. Yeah, and then there's all sorts. I mean, there's all these plans. There's plans to build little like sort of little lodges that have a place for you to sit and rest. So if it starts to rain or starts to snow on you, you can hang out there. I mean, there's all these ideas. The whole area next to it is for sale, kind of between Burgess and I don't even know what the top road is, but from Burgess South, that whole area is for sale. So that's gonna get sold here soon and developed into a bunch of stuff, which travels right along that path. Right now, Polish and Adair are like building homes all along it. So that path is a selling point for the Pine. It's used a lot.
Good.
And that's about it. That's about all I have for an update for now. Hopefully I'll have more soon. We're like right on the precipice of a bunch of really cool stuff happening. So
Good.
we'll see.
Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah.
Anybody have any other questions for Anthony in Lapine? All right. So I had one thing I wanted to just mention. Our agenda seems to, this is more for us, is our agenda puts all the updates at the end, and the people who come and join us always have to wait to the end to talk about what they're talking about, and sometimes they get cut off or they need to leave. I would propose that we move them up in the agenda to like right after committee business, we do updates, and then we do working group updates and our external for us. Any thoughts on that?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds.
Try it out. There we go.
All right.
We can be flexible. We can always change it back if it doesn't work. So yeah, let's try.
Yeah. So that's just my thought is, so those of you online, I think most of let's see, we got a few people online that give us updates. So I was going to suggest you guys jump in before we get to the working group updates. So I think
Yeah, I'll jump in. I have a question.
Yeah.
And Neil, I know I sent you a note the other day. I was curious how I can join the Ben Lapine School District Committee. It says external committee reports. So I don't know, since I'm attending the meetings right now, how that whether I would be part of the updates or would I be part of that committee reports? I mean, I'm not sure where my updates fit. So I've been just kind of fitting them in as we go along somehow.
Yeah, I think that since you're able to be here, there's a lot of committees where like, you know, different people on the committee will sit on it. So I have given updates for the Safe Routes to School coalition that we're on with you. I think that's what you're calling it. But if you're here, you should definitely be giving any updates from the school district, not me.
so Neil, I know Michelle's been coming to pretty consistently. We can just
Right.
move that to an update and put you in, Michelle. On the
Yes,
section.
absolutely.
Okay, so I will be part of the updates, is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Okay, I'll plan on that. Thank you.
Yeah. Helpful. All right, so who wants to go first? Michelle, since you're on screen, you want to go first? I don't think we have anybody in the room that's going to do an update.
Sure, I'm happy to. So hi, everyone. Again, Michelle Rhodes with Ben Lapine Schools, and I just provided the update jointly with Anthony about this special event happening in Lapine. But we are continuing to collaborate in promoting events like this, Walk to School Day, walk and roll days. We still promote that in collaboration with Commute Options. Commute Options has been and will continue to be a great partner with us in delivering safe routes to school in our schools. It's just that now that the school system has hired a person, a role, that's me, in this active transportation coordinator role. I will be, Ben Lapine Schools wants to, it's just great that Ben Lapine Schools is setting up a leadership position to be more in the lead on the safe routes to school programs that are actually happening within the Ben Lapine Schools. So you'll see me actively participating in these meetings as an example. So we have a great, very robust coalition of which Neil, Derek, Ben Lapine, Ben Parks and Recreation District just joined, Quinn, from planning is part of that, coalition membership now. So, and then quite a few people that are around that table, physical table, are all coalition members, and we meet quarterly now. We have an implementation plan that I would be happy to send out to everybody. We're going to actually get it posted onto our transportation website. It's just the entire web sites for Ben Lapine schools are under construction. We're building new ones. And so we're going to have our own Safe Routes to School pages nestled within our transportation pages. So that will become, being I should say promoted. Those pages will be available, expected over the winter, once the construction of the websites are complete. We are continuing to do outreach in our schools. I want to thank Neil and Derek for joining me early one morning at Juniper Elementary to observe the student drop off that early morning. It was cold, but it was a very robust cold morning. And I'm just trying to prioritize and work the action items that have come out of that implementation plan. And again, I'll be happy to send that out to everybody. It's not going to be on the website until this winter, but I can send it out to people through this. I'll try posting it here, but it's a really big file. I don't know if I can drop it in the chat, but I'll try. That people can see how robust and broad the community partnerships are for the Safe Routes to School program. And we have a robust agenda for the next 3 to 5 years. So thank you for participating in it.
Thank you.
Oh, I also would like to do a shout out to David Green for helping support our Realms Middle School and High School bike to school mornings. We've had 2 of those. There's another one tomorrow morning. And we have 2 teachers there that are very much bike advocates, and they are gathering like-minded students and finding locations to bike to school. And again, a shout out to David for helping support some of those bike to school mornings.
Thanks. All right. Who's next?
Might as well go down.
Oh, Derek has his hand up.
Oh yeah,
right.
thanks. And I gotta leave a little early. I gotta take our dog to the vet. He's got a paw injury. So I'll probably leave about 15 minutes before the end of the meeting. But yeah, I just wanted to give a few quick updates. So let me put my hand down. So the Oregon Transit Association Oregon Conference was held this week down at the River House in Bend. So as I'm still the president of that organization through the end of this year, and then I was elected to continue on the board of directors for the next 2 years. So I'll be tracking legislation, short session, long session in 26. We talked a little bit about the stiff increase that's going to sunset. That will likely go out for a repeal vote if they can get the signatures. I think they need like 76,000 signatures. So we're closely watching that, and we're gonna do what we can as an organization to make sure that our transit agencies are well funded. And CET showed up and they won some awards. So just doing our part to support transit here. But it's a great conference, a lot of microtransit. A lot of good examples there that kind of takeaways from that. The other second update is that we did receive a $5,000 transportation option sponsorship grant from ODOT. And these are for things like, bike helmet purchases and kind of, small projects. And we're going to be piloting a wayfinding route this summer because our public works department can print all the signs. We can do pavement markings. We have a wayfinding plan, and we've just never really implemented any like full-on wayfinding project. So The proposed route is between downtown and then it goes to the box factory and then it goes to the old mill. And it would be via the sidewalk on Bond Street, kind of using like both directions of that sidewalk. So excited about that. We're gonna kind of map it out and start to get working on that this winter. And hopefully it'll align with the opening of the Troy Field Mobility Hub because that's going to probably come online right around the same time, like spring, summer, because it goes right by Troy Field.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be a fun project. And then lastly, I'm working on a scope of work for it's a 3D model intersection project. I don't know if you guys remember a couple years back, we did a big roundabout tour with our community members who were blind or had low vision and walked them around. And somebody who's born blind has no idea how a complicated roundabout functions. They can't like visualize it at all. And we are going to be printing probably like 3 or 4 roundabout designs, as well as some more of the new complicated intersections where you have travel lanes that aren't straight across, so that they'd be confusing for someone with low vision. And then test those models with some community members. We have Charlene Wills is volunteering and Nancy Stevens, and I'm working on recruiting some other folks. Michelle, I think I mentioned it to you. If there's anyone from the school districts or you have, there's children that have low vision or who are blind that want to participate, we're going to be kicking that off probably in like March of next year. And then the whole idea of that is that when developers come and build new roundabouts that look different than our existing roundabouts because of road widths, and we can't all make them the same size, unfortunately, or complex intersections, they would be required. We're going to update some of our language and our standards and have those developers actually print these 3D models of the intersection, which I think would be really good for like taking to open houses and having that as an accessibility tool for our community members. So those are my updates.
That's
Thanks,
super
guys.
cool.
Yeah, it's fun. So if anybody wants to get looped into any of that, just shoot me an email and I'll keep you updated.
I'll send you an email, Derek. I just said it in the
Okay.
chat. If you could send me
Perfect.
the information so I can get it to the right people. Thank you.
Yep. We're working on getting a contract signed like right after Thanksgiving, and then I'll move forward with actually working on the project once that happens.
Derek, is the wayfinding project that you're doing, is that going to be similar wayfinding that they're going to use on the Bend bikeways?
Yeah, we're using those designs and kind of slightly modifying because they have a wayfinding plan, but you're right, it is more for biking and not walking. So we're going to use those sign designs to develop kind of not a unique one, but one that mimics the bikeways. But maybe it's like a different color, it's purple or something like that. And then we're also going to use some of the textured paint on the sidewalks as part of the path. And it would be the east side of the sidewalk on Bond Street. So that would be both direction of travel. So definitely not a bicycling wayfinding because you don't want people biking on the sidewalks, especially on the wrong side of the street on Bond. And it's about a 20-minute walk. I walked it. There's some good accessibility. There's one little patchy sidewalk section that we're going to want to fix up before we do it. But it should be pretty cool. And then the goal is to have maps, have some of the signage start at the downtown parking garages and at Drake Park, and it could, point to Deschutes River Trail this way, CET Transit Hub this way. So it's kind of giving you directions, Old Mill, Box Factory this way. And then there's I think 2 or 3 bike share stations along the route as well. So if somebody gets tired of walking, they can hop on a bike.
Cool.
Yeah, and once we have a formal plan together, I'll bring it back. Yeah, Drake to Juniper, perfect. Thanks, Matt.
I'd be happy to jump in with an update if it's appropriate.
Go ahead, Henry.
Yeah, Derek, good luck with your dog. And also thank you for whoever made the suggestion to have our updates come a little earlier in the meeting. These lunchtime meetings are often hard for me to make, so I would really appreciate that. Couple of updates from Ben Parks and Rec, couple projects that I wanted to highlight. The first is that we just awarded a fairly large contract to Kittleson and Associates to restudy the planned southern connection of the Deschutes River Trail from the city of Bend over to the Rimrock Good Dog area. This was a project that we put on pause back in 2019, but there's been a kind of upswell of community interest in the project. So our board authorized some funding. So we're going to be re-looking at possible ways to connect the trail. And there's going to be a fairly robust public input process over the next 12 to 18 months that I will be updating this group about. And hopefully at the end of that, we'll have a better sense on the viability and the feasibility of completing that trail connection and what it would take from a financial design permitting standpoint. So very excited that we're going to be reworking on that. The other news is that we recently received a $400,000 grant from ODOT as part of the ODOT community or the Oregon Community Pass Grant Program. That's to study a trail underpass of Highway 20 by the Land Systems Nursery. That's going to be part of a trail that we call the Big Sky Trail that will connect Big Sky Park down to close to the Stevens Road track expansion area. That project will probably kick off 10 to 12 months from now. And yeah, still working on the scope of work and have a lot of coordination to do with ODOT, but we'll likely be seeking input from this group and from the general public as part of that process. The last update I have is really more of a question, and I was curious. We recently saw the city's designs for the Reed Market Bridge project, and I was wondering if this community or this group or Ben Bikes or any of the representatives have any sort of organized comments for that project. You know, from the Park District standpoint, I think we really want to see the inclusion of a full separated multi-use trail across that bridge because we have several trails that connect into that area. And was just curious to know if there's been any prior discussions or if anyone would like to connect offline to talk more about that project.
Yeah, Henry, I'm writing up comments for Ben Bikes, and that's exactly one of my comments. So I would like to talk to you about that.
Yeah, Dave, give me a buzz. I'm working on a letter now and want to float it by a couple people here. And I had a long conversation with Alex Doza at the city yesterday. And yeah, kind of want to just take the pulse and see where people were at and make sure we were all saying the same thing.
Should we also have something from BPAC?
We
Have a
sure could.
position?
Yeah, we sure could. So right now, the plan is to put standard bike lanes at street level across that bridge with sidewalks. And I talked to a couple of the engineers. They say there's no additional cost or very little additional cost to bump the sidewalk out to the travel lane and raise the bike lane to the sidewalk level and make that a multi-use path. So I think that would be a really good comment from BPAC if we could do that.
Good.
Well, the initial, I guess, concept plan just came out this last week.
Right.
And the only thing I would throw out would be they're planning on a crosswalk on the east side of the bridge. And I'm kind of fearful of the location of it because of cars coming over the top of the bridge. It's going to be a pretty steep up and down bridge, near as I can tell.
About like Murphy. Yeah.
And so when you come down the east side, that crosswalk is going to be right there. And I'm fearful that whether it be in pedestrians or a bike rider going across or whatever, I'm fearful there's not enough clearance or sight distance for vehicles coming up over the top of that bridge before all of a sudden they're at this crosswalk. So I think I'd throw something in there like that.
And you're talking about the 9th Street, crossing of 9th Street on the bridge?
No, crossing Reed Market. They're gonna have a pedestrian crosswalk on the east side of the bridge after the cars get down to the level portion, near as I can tell. And I don't think there's enough sight distance for somebody coming over the top of the bridge, because it's gonna be a steep bridge, that to be able to safely stop
at the bottom of Reed Market on.
Just to clarify, that's a tunnel there.
Yeah.
So it's a grade separated crossing, not a crosswalk.
Yeah.
Under.
That's it.
it's gonna be under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the east side at 9th Street.
No, but it's
Yeah.
is it
Correct.
underneath Reed Market?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay,
Everything will be under.
okay, it didn't show that real well in the conceptual plan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If it's a tunnel,
Yeah.
that's fine.
It's a tunnel.
I thought
Yeah.
that-
Yeah, okay.
That's right.
Forget I said anything.
I agree with you. I saw some plans the other day for that and I thought, why couldn't the raised portion, the curved portion include the bike
The
lane?
bike
lane, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave, if you want to reach out, I'd love to chat with you more and I'd be happy to share our comments with with the BPAC group also, if we want to have some sort of coordination with our messaging and what we're saying. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
we'll get something ready for December meeting. They're only at the 30% design, so there should be time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank-
Thank you. I think that's all. Is anybody else out there? So let's go. We did the Little Pine. Mark's not here for Sun River. Bend Sisters.
Come back to me. I'm forgetting something. I need to remember what it is.
Redmond?
We're in limbo. Sisters pull our liaison and Redmond seems to be pretty slow at replacing her and anyway, so we've been told we probably won't until January
Wow.
at this point. Anyway, it is what it is.
I didn't catch who was leaving and going to Sister.
Sarah Val, she's a city planner was a city planner for Redmond, did just a fabulous job for us. You guys have met her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
The last couple of meetings held in Redmond.
Great lunches.
Yeah, I knew that would come up.
So now the lunch is at Sisters.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this was on.
All of a sudden it'll be in Redmond. How come we can't have good lunches like Sisters?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sorry to hear that, but boy, everyone's fleeing you and going to Sister.
Sarah is.
I assume so too. Yeah.
So. Change. All right, let's see, who else is here to shoot the count?
Yes, I have things to relay from Tarek. Continuing its update process for the transfer of the TSAP Safety Action Plan, adoptions intended for February 2026, based on the schedule that's happening right now. Tarek, our senior transportation planner, is working on semi-annual road naming. Which is just a thing that happens every year.
Oh.
Things have to get renamed. The people apply for renamings. Roads that didn't have to have names at all hit a threshold that suddenly they have to be named. It's apparently very interesting what people choose. We are gonna kick off the Terrebonne Community Plan update. So this is a component of technically a component of the comprehensive plan for the county. They're little appendices. Some of you might recall the Tumalo Community Plan that occurred a couple years ago. So now we're talking Terrebonne, which is ripe because of anticipated sewer development. So we'll have a transportation component, obviously. We're probably not going to kick off that planning process, which will take probably 1 to 1.5 years. It's kind of a biggie. In January, we intend to kick it off. So we'll have a whole community engagement process and outreach pertaining both to transportation and just general kind of what do residents of Terrebonne want to see happen in Terrebonne, or what don't they want to see. So I'll be working on that along with Tarek, my counterpart on the transportation side. We'll be engaging all kinds of stakeholders in Terrebonne. So we'll keep you all posted on opportunities for that. Moving forward, we also applied for a technical assistance grant from Department of Land Conservation and Development, which would just ease the financial burden. It wouldn't, if we receive it, it wouldn't actually affect the scope of work for the project that much. It just eases the wallet a little bit. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Then all of their road projects and capital improvements are on the road department website. He highlighted a couple that are still in progress. So Lower Bridgeway and 43rd Street intersection improvement. Construction is anticipated in 2026. And again, these are all, you can make comments or look at plans on their website. Tumalo Reservoir Road, Opie Riley to Sizemore Improvement Project. Preliminary engineering is complete construction anticipated in this fall and next spring. I assume with a break for winter. South Century Drive, the Sun River Corridor intersection improvements project. The schedule is past the public outreach phase, but there's still lots of time before the anticipated 2026-27 construction. And that is it for updates from the road department. Thanks.
You.
ODOT, yeah, so we're chipping away at a lot of these intercity connections, trying to tie this community together with active transportation. Getting at my goal since I started of connecting La Pine to Madras, so ultimately Bend Lava Butte, that's moving forward, looking to go to construction end of next year for tree clearing, really construction in 27. So that one's super cool. We'll have Ben Sisters Redmond planning. I know I keep on bringing it up. It is starting. We have gotten the consultant on board and had the initial kickoff meeting, so that should be coming out soon. I'll be reaching out to BPAC for some sort of how that works out, whether it's TAC, whether it's whatever we're using sort of as that advisory committee. So I'll definitely be bringing this project back around through that as well.
Who's the consultant?
That is Parametrics. We have the US 97 Safe Routes to School Redmond project, building multi-use paths south of Redmond. So that'll connect from U Ave to Desert Terrace Estates. So my secret plan to chip away at that path, going south and north, and how do we piece it all together? It's coming around. Oregon Community Paths. So this one's headed towards Prineville, but this will connect 9th Street area all the way out to Oasis Mobile Village, which is over past the airport. So working that way as well. Redmond living up to its name as the hub, getting paths every direction there. So yeah, keeping that going, but I'm excited. And then, yeah, Henry mentioned it earlier, but that US 20 East planning as well, partnership with, well, not a partnership, it's BPRD's money. And we're partnering to help them deliver work that will ultimately be on our facility. And then, yeah, another exciting one is Greenwood and 3rd Street, extending that Greenwood cross section on the city of Bend. It currently ends at 1st Street. And they have money to get to 3rd from Arts from a long time ago. But, you know, it's hard to implement that without doing all the signal work and then work on the other side. So lots of conversations between the city and ODOT, and we're looking for some funding to make that happen as well. So we can do that extension and continue that road cross section all the way to 3rd and past 3rd. So I'm hopeful maybe we'll have some money at some point soon. So we'll see what happens there. And then just getting this on everybody's radar, but Oregon Community Paths, the general plan is to open up grants early 2026. So this will be a cool one for chipping away at a lot of these other paths, whether we extend the Wiki Up path and look at extending that to La Pine State Park, planted some ideas here. It'd be a cool planning study, extending it south from Lava Butte itself to Lava River Cave. That'd be a good chunk if we had Forest Service employees still who are capable of doing that. So this is one of those good ways of chunking some of these paths together. Who knows, early 26, we'll see if they get a program manager hired. And then the other one is Safe Routes to School. That should be reopening early 2026. So once I have more details, I'll get that out to people, but I'm excited. Lots of cool projects. Talk to Michelle about these, but yeah, all the other road owners as well. That's a good way of piecing together some of these projects.
That it?
Mhm.
What's OAS, Jennifer?
That's me, Oregon Adaptive Sports.
I knew there was somebody in here.
Couple meetings. Not a lot. This is Pat. I'm also the executive director for OAS, Oregon Adaptive Sports. We wrapped up our adaptive cycling programs for the year at the end of October, but we had a great season. To just look at our numbers, we had just in our cycling program alone, 157 unique individuals with disabilities who went on 564 bike rides. Most of that occurring over at our program at Pine Nursery Park, in partnership with the Parks Department. So we were up like 30% this year versus last year.
Wow, that's great.
So it's great. We're getting a lot of people on a whole bunch of different types of bikes. It's really recreation focused, but yeah, I love passing along the knowledge about all the connectivity and whatnot, what's going on. So yeah, it's been a busy summer for us for sure. Not a whole lot else. Time to go skiing.
So I was gonna say, is there a ski program too?
We have our ski program is like 2 times our summer program. So we have a very robust ski program at Mount Bachelor and Hoodoo. Yeah.
Cool.
Did you attend there was like an accessible summit in Sun River, right?
Yeah, there was Travelability. It's like a destination conference for like groups like Visit Bend, Visit Central Oregon, other regional. I mean, there was folks from across the country, Florida was represented, give presentations, but it was all centered around accessible travel. So OAS presented on some funding that we've received from the travel bureaus, Travel Oregon, Visit Bend, Visit Central Oregon. They invest quite a bit, and we do. So it's pretty interesting to hear what's going on, and definitely the tourism, Visit Bend, Visit Central Oregon. I mean, and Travel Oregon statewide, accessibility is like top priority. So, which is great for our nonprofit, but for BPAC travel, it's beneficial, right? Because there's so much focus on accessible multi-use pathways, and there's funding that's coming out of those various kind of conduits for infrastructure, which is not really what we do, and also programming, which is what we do. So I know like Travel Oregon has a big thing. They just closed the LOI for recreation ready. So any of these like recreation oriented infrastructure pieces that people have ready to go, they're ready to invest, pretty big hundreds of thousands of dollars into some of these projects. So good for bed bikes to know about too. I don't, it's all more advocacy, but yeah, it's interesting.
Okay, did I miss anybody? That's who we had.
I can
come
give
back.
just a quick commute options update.
Oh. Okay.
The similar to Ben Lapine schools, it's been there was bike walk to school day. They do one of those in the fall and one of those in the spring, and that was successful. And then also just fall is when they're doing a ton of bike and ped safety education at schools throughout the region. And I'm just like looking at all of the lists of that. And there was a Get There challenge in October. And Central Oregon did a good job logging trips, and that's largely it. It's not actually it. That's enough of the update though.
Thank you. All right. So I think we've hit we hit everybody.
All right, and come back to me.
Yes.
Still don't remember what I was gonna say, but I do know the talk about wayfinding, we are do you have a contract to kind of design wayfinding signs and kind of get a cohesive sign strategy in the city, which we have not had. It's just been kind of piecemealed and changed over time. So recognizing we would like to have a nice cohesive look, and then if people are walking or biking around town, then that we have some signage that will be reliable and recognizable. And so we have an open house about that. None of you are coming, but next Wednesday, we have a 4 to 6 p.m. Open house, so people can see. They said the good news was that our DMO or Explorer Sisters had already, paid a lot of money to get a look at design, fonts, all that kind of stuff together, which the consultant said that was a huge step. That's a huge money saver that we can kind of lean into their design and not have to reinvent the wheel. We just voted on our preferred UGB expansion map last night. So lots of stress and drama over that, as UGB conversations usually have. So we'll see how that goes. as is, it should move smoothly through the process. But if people want to cause trouble, there's always that opportunity.
What direction are you,
Good trouble, bad trouble, I'm not gonna judge.
what direction are you pushing?
Northeast, all on the northeast side of town. Yeah, so still pretty close to the core of the community. I think that's what was, it was also priority one lands, which are the easiest to bring in. They were all priority one lands. And so I think, yeah, people can recognize that, you know, it was kind of close to the core and relatively close to downtown. I know there's something else, but I can't think of what it was. It's been 2 months. I missed last month, so if I think of something, I'll just blurt it out at in an awkward time.
That sounds good.
That's it for now.
Okay, great. All right, so that takes care of updates. Let's jump back up into working group updates, outreach. Anything?
For me.
I know it might be.
Yeah, we had a Revere Avenue ODOT meeting.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And they've got their preferred alternative for that corridor, which will include multi-use paths on both sides of Revere from Wall Street to Fourth Street. That's a really dangerous corridor.
Yes.
It crosses the railroad track and goes under the parkway. The footprint of the road will be mostly 2 lanes going east, 1 lane going west, and some intermittent left turn lanes at the major intersections. So it's gonna reorganize traffic along that corridor in a helpful way, I think. The railroad crossing will be rebuilt so that it will be a quiet crossing compliant, so that as the other crossings become quiet crossing compliant, the whole stretch can become quiet crossing.
Nice.
And that would mean probably very robust
Gates.
yeah, gates coming down to prevent anybody.
Right now, there are 2 gates, one on each side of the railroad.
Yeah.
Front of the cross, and
Right.
this will create 4 gates so that it's completely closed
Yeah,
off.
because you can still do this.
Yeah.
Because that actually happens. I was surprised. They did a rail study a few years ago and they had like 20 incidents of people crossing winding in vehicles.
At intersection.
At that intersection.
Wow.
So it's a serious issue.
Yeah.
And the only 2 odd parts of the project is that they're going to maintain 5 lanes between Third Street and Fourth Street. Which is, you know, I don't know, it's not even related to the Parkway corridor. So, and because of that, they'll have to acquire quite a bit of right of way. So I'm actually asking them to reduce the lanes to 4 lanes, like to match the rest of the corridor, and reduce the amount of right of way they have to acquire through there.
So is the 5th lane, is that a turn lane?
They'll have two through lanes on each side plus a middle turn lane.
Yeah, so left turn lane.
So as a result, they'll have to acquire quite a bit of right of way in order to have the multi-use paths.
Yeah.
And it will be a really awkward junction with Revere to the east of Fourth Street. Because you'll be going from 5 lanes to 2, maybe 3.
Well, there's
gonna be a turn lane, so there'd be, I would.
Right, one of the turn would be a right turn lane, yeah.
That's the way it is now.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
So they really wouldn't be changing that
no,
profile too much, yeah. The other thing is that they've really not spent very much time thinking about how to slow traffic. I don't know how many people walk, bike, or drive through that corridor.
Yeah.
But people are often driving 50 miles an hour plus.
yeah. That's a
And
very,
so that was one of the conversations the group had with them, And we'd like them to focus more on ways to slow traffic, because people are psychologically coming off the parkway or getting on the parkway, and so they're really at highway speeds and they haven't gotten back into a city mindset yet.
So so you said they're gonna do multi-use paths on both sides of
Yes.
Revere? How does that transition coming into Wall Street?
Uh,
Cause you've got the off-ramp right there and an on-ramp
right.
on
Yeah,
the westbound side.
The Wall Street intersection is really not part of this project. And
Oh.
so they're perfectly willing to end the multi-use path at the intersection,
Oh,
which is true at Fourth Street as well.
But the bike lane picks up there. Whenever I ride through there, it's like sprinting for your life.
yes,
Oh,
it is,
After Fourth Street.
yeah.
The bike lane just ends.
And there's 3 lanes
And then
there.
you've got,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mess. So, if they actually get rid of that right turn lane, so they reduce the width to 4 lanes, the bike lane transition from multi-use path to the bike lane going east is going to be better
That sounds better, yeah.
than it would be anyway. So,
Yeah,
so if people have detailed questions, let me know and I could.
yeah. I ride through that fairly often and that's a scary one.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
I've also read studies where there's probably not so much here, but on the highways, especially as interstates, get faster and faster and faster. They're finding there's a lot more accidents and fatalities on the side streets because they're coming off and that high speed mentality. And they've seen a big increase in accidents and fatalities on the frontage roads, not necessarily on the highways.
Yeah. And from
Does that
Fourth
make
Street
sense?
to Fourth Street to Wall Street, there's a lot of turns off, a lot of access to. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Here
one of the
along
things.
that stretch.
They're going to start reducing those driveways as development occurs. They can't shut driveways without quite a bit of trouble until those properties develop, and then they've got a lot of leverage
Yeah.
to shut those driveways, and they're planning to do that.
Good.
That's assuming that the development is a bigger development, not same size. Because if it's same size, you still gotta keep the driveway. This is a big apartment
Oh, I see what you're
complex went
saying.
in,
Yeah.
whatever, now you can
Cut
cut
it
out,
out to one.
Yeah.
you do that. Just whatever development goes in is the same size, so they're gonna keep the driveways.
Yeah. So I don't know, that'll be a city issue rather than an ODOT issue.
Right. Yeah.
But, yep. So that's,
Do I understand that at Fourth Street, they're talking about Fourth Street and Revere, they're talking about putting a stoplight in there?
yes, the city, that
Is that part of this?
well. It's certainly related. That's actually a go bond project. So they're gonna do that, and they wanted to have a sense of what they're gonna do west of that stoplight, where they put the stoplight in.
Are they gonna put a light in at Fourth Street then, or are they gonna? stay
Light,
with
they're
the-
gonna put a light at Fourth and Revere, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
When is all this supposedly gonna happen?
Well, so that's one of the odd things about these planning projects is that they get money for the planning project. They do the planning and then they wait until they have funding to do the construction. So there is no schedule at all for when they would actually do this work because they're waiting for funding.
Can I add some context around that, really?
Sure.
This was really, it started off as a rail crossing project. Functionally, that was the single purpose, was to fix the rail crossing next to the interchange. Now, to do that, we need to know what the cross-section looks like of what the city wants coming in, because we can't just change that one block, right? And so in order to do the rail crossing, that's why we sort of expanded those limits well, city added some funding as well to look at the whole corridor so we can figure out what we want that to look like. That's also why it ends at Wall Street, right? We're not looking past that because functionally it really is a rail crossing one. And that's what we had money for. And that's what we intend to fund first to sort of get there. And then the rest of it, we just had to figure out how it all ties in. Sort of like Greenwood ended up, right? We're only able to do up to First because we can't tie in here. That's why we have an awkward limbo first to third. So functionally, it's really a rail crossing, which spurred this whole corridor. That's why we're sort of studying without any funding. Because again, the funding's really rail corridor focused.
Could the funding go ahead with fixing at least the crossing?
No,
Or is it all just gonna be one?
they don't have construction funding for that either.
Okay.
But it'll be a high priority. That's sort of why it popped up. It popped up in our list of statewide rail. To fix that, one. That's why it's sort of how it all trickles around.
It's really, yeah, the rail corridor is what drives all of this.
Well, I mean, it prompted it.
Prompted.
Yeah, but we could easily fund these different sections at a time now, right? We have a plan. Now the city can start mandating this type of development as people redevelop on there. So lots of good things around doing a plan even without funding, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And the plan is an enormous improvement over what's there now. I mean,
Sounds like it.
we'll never get anything we want, but it's a really, really important step forward.
So as far as all these steps go, when is it even likely to think that this is gonna happen? When there may be construction on it? I know we're in planning now, and then you gotta get money to do the actual work. Do you have any idea?
Nobody
No.
was willing to make an estimate.
Okay.
2055.
A magic 8 ball.
That's what we need in these.
I may be dead by then, but okay.
Right on the street
I
view
had a-
here, there's a car driving in the wrong direction on the.
Go ahead, Matt.
No, I just had a quick note on outreach before we jump off. And I guess, well, I heard from a friend that was at the bike night I went to, gosh, a year or so ago to get some signups, and they were like, I get the BPAC BCC for the agenda, but I can't, chime into the meetings, but it'd be great if there were some more links to updates or ways to comment on things, or just, more of like a mini newsletter every month. And so it kind of poked me to be like, gosh, where did that conversation leave off? And I think, Tanya, I just looked at our email thread, and it was, you had proposed some times to meet with Whitney, who does some of the communications work. And I don't think I ever responded. So it's sort of this, maybe we can pick it back up. I don't know. And also you mentioned the county was going through a website overhaul. So wondering where that's at, and if this might be a good time to touch in with that question, and also just bring to the committee. I think, I'd be willing to spend an hour or two a month just compiling some of the notes from this meeting to then work with Diane and just send out a little more information digitally to that list using like Constant Contact or whatever. So just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, I think I noted, I don't know, a few months ago that when we thought we, the county, were gonna be souping up our website, then that unhappened.
Okay.
And now I think it's in limbo, and it might be rehappening, but it's just so vague, but we don't know. So right now, we have not gotten any direction in any capacity that our website is gonna be happening, or just like general upgrades to our system and our design anytime soon, but it might be resurrected. That's the biggest non-answer I could ever provide, but all hope should not be lost, but we don't have any further direction. But I'm happy to I can touch base again with Whitney, our communications, whatever she is, whatever her title is, to try to see if there's any inroads that we could make in terms of like newslettery stuff, like coming from a county Constant Contact.
Talked about last year. I think it's worth exploring.
Yeah.
If that sounds good to Jennifer and other folks on the outreach group and committee members. It just was like, there's so much information in this meeting that it'd be great to just share a couple, opportunities for folks to engage, or short updates like Read Market or things like that.
Yeah,
Could also get out of hand pretty quick, so I think we gotta keep it to a few things, but yeah.
Yeah, because we already have the notes but yeah, somebody's not gonna read through all the minutes, like, there was a clean, concise way of putting that together. That'd be nice.
Right. I guess we'd have to figure out what our goal is. Is our goal to send out a mini newsletter to everybody who's on the mailing list? Summarizing our meetings, or like what is our goal? So maybe we could meet separately to talk about that.
Yeah,
now-
that's good.
Without being, my fear is being redundant with other things, but I also agree that we're kind of the clearinghouse of people coming together. That's what we do. Like, we try to be the connector. I think BPAC does, given our lack of funds to actually kind of implement things. Like a hub, as it were. So figuring out how to make that work to everybody's benefit,
Yeah,
And I'm assuming, Tanya, because we are a county appointed committee, it would have to go through the county to actually put something out. Like, we couldn't just do something on our own.
I mean, what we could do, and I as staff have limited capacity.
Of course.
Allocated. I know, I wish I could have more capacity to do this because it's fun. But there's probably a way we could, massage that maybe some of the work is done by the BPAC committee, but then it funnels through me and I'm kind of just clicking the buttons to get it out there, making sure that we don't say something offensive and, depending on my mood.
But
Derek posted quarterly newsletters are much more manageable.
Yeah.
Once it's big lift.
That's very
Wait.
true. Totally.
was this somebody that is on our email list now or somebody outside of that?
yeah, someone that is on our email list. Now, yeah. And they asked me, they're like, I saw you at the bike night and how did I get on that list? Now I get these emails and I don't really know how to engage with it. I don't know how to get off of it. Like, I'm just now, like, what am I supposed to
Subscribe.
I
Yeah.
was like, no, I think it's just our general outreach list. And they're like, well, it seems like an internal memo, with the agenda and things. And I was like, yeah, I could see that. And
Yeah.
yeah, it just felt like it was, how do we create something that just a little bit more engaging or public facing, I think is where the comment was geared.
Right.
Well, quarterlies does make sense too. I like that idea.
Because in reality, the minutes kind of goes over everything we're discussing.
Yes.
So I guess it kind of means to read the agenda and then read the minutes to whoever is on the email list. I guess it becomes their responsibility too.
Right. And this is unique, and maybe we've discussed this before, but it's been a while, so it's worth repeating. Like, this is the only committee that at least I'm involved with on the county level where we have a mailing list. We don't do that for Planning Commission, for Historic Landmarks Commission. Like, it's posted, the meetings are posted.
Yeah.
Agendas and minutes are posted online, but there's no hey, we don't have any other
Right.
communication with cool stuff the Planning Commission's doing. Like, that's not a thing. But BPAC is different because it's more advisory than, I don't know. It operates in a weird place. And I think we could work that to our advantage if we so desire. But it does function differently.
Does your website have the ability to sign up for mailing lists and emails like ours now does,
I
where
think so.
we have different either newsletters or it's like, I want it the agenda or something, and you can just click, and then you.
Well, the agenda
automatically
isn't
subscribe.
sent out to people for the other committees. Except for the actual participants. Like, I send out an email to our planning commissioners saying, here's our meeting our meeting agenda. But if you're a member of the public and you want to participate, it's on you to go to the website, go to the meeting
Okay.
portal and be like, oh, I see their meeting on Thursday.
Yeah, we've set ours up now. I mean, I know your hands are tied on the county's website, but ours is set up so people can just go on and there's all these 10 different topics and you can just click it. And then when there's an email blast, you just automatically get it.
Right.
So,
I guess the question, what is the email blast for? Is it for notifying of meetings or is it for helpful information?
both, there's all
For
different
this,
things.
I mean,
Oh, for this, yeah.
For us, like right now, we do it as a meeting notice.
Yeah, it would be
Right.
nice. I just, yeah, if the county website doesn't have that capability, then otherwise, yeah, it would be nice to have like a quarterly newsletter that people could subscribe to and they had more deeper interest and they could get on this email list,
Mhm.
It gets unwieldy because there's so many people on it and
Right.
No, I mean, yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Matt. That's good perspective.
Just, yeah, feedback I got, and I think it's Tanya, probably an opportunity to collaborate with the communications group.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whitney and others, and just figure out, how can we type up some information for them to easy, copy paste into their work, or maybe we do create something new. But yeah, I think that would be worth exploring. There's just so much good information in this group that I think it just, for folks that want to engage, it's hard to, yeah, I guess meeting minutes is the key, or watching the recordings, but not everyone has that luxury of time. People want snacks in their email inboxes, not full sandwiches.
So who wants to take the lead on, I guess, the three of us? Who wants?
I can figure out do we want to meet with someone at the county, like our communications people? Do we want to meet internally first? To figure out what we want to ask for.
And it's, I don't know, I can go either way, Matt. What do you think?
I think I feel ready to meet with the county folks, because it really depends on capabilities. I would say it's like meeting agenda, minutes, and maybe like 1 or 2 or 3 things where it's saying, comment on the roundabouts in Sun River, or the Get There challenge is going on, or just a couple links, and a way for people to subscribe and unsubscribe easily, I think, is a key function.
Okay, let me work on figuring out who that would be now at the county, and I'll circle back with Matt and Jennifer.
Okay.
So we don't have to belabor this with everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate the
I will
conversation.
follow up. Yeah, me too.
Thanks, Matt. Dave, anything new on community connections?
No, we're falling behind on our schedule, so I'll talk to Kim about that and get started again.
Okay, all right. External COAC?
Since we didn't get to go over this last meeting because we ran out of time, and the next meeting is next week in this room. One of the questions that came out at our Tri-County Summit was, do we want to continue to have it Tri-County? And so I brought that up to the COAC group, and the rep from Jefferson County and the rep from Crook County said they would go back and see what the thought process is, those counties. We'll see if they come back. Local, other counties, Redmond is building a huge rec center, and there's concerns, the adjacent street near a school, that they need some additional signage, lights, something.
At 126 crossing, yeah.
It's gonna be potentially pretty nasty.
Yeah, I'm sure you know all about it, but there was actually people doing public comment at that meeting. There was a number of people there kind of talking about,
They got a real problem.
yeah.
Then, to our folks to the north, Madras, they're still asking why they don't have a bypass that first talked about in the 1980s. So, COIC contract changes with ODOT. That was about the extent of that. ODOT, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. TSAP update, just starting the next 5-year plan. They're already seeing far major accidents since 2021. And that was discussed at a previous COAC meeting, and that they've discovered that marijuana drugs is a higher cause of accidents than alcohol. And so it was kind of scary. Discussed many areas, 3 counties that need help. Of course, no money. Large discussion in regards to the funding that hopefully just got passed. There was some discussions at the legislature does a lot of the project planning, dictating where the money's going to go, in that the ODOT upper guys can't change. And so that kind of influences what ODOT can and cannot do. And then there was the questions about accountability at the upper end of ODOT. Then the last thing that was on the agenda, and I'm leaving this last just for the heck of it. One of the reps for COAC that they haven't had was a aviation in our illustrious Jennifer, who just stepped down as BPAC chairman, stuck her hand up and said, I do it.
It's for like a grant or something, but I haven't heard from anybody.
I think it's just being,
Yeah.
but it caught me off so off guard. I had to go, I second.
Yeah, well, no, you moved.
I moved. So, but anyway, so that was pretty much the extent. There was some discussions about the interchange in Terrebonne going to Crooked River Ranch, which will help Crooked River Ranch, but it's not going to help the downtown core of Terrebonne. And the fact that there was ODOT wanted to put one-way streets in, and the folks in Terrebonne said, we don't want one-way streets. So I don't know what Terrebonne's going to do if they're not willing to work for their own behalf, but they can't complain anymore. So anyway, that was it. Well, they can complain, but
I've never heard that rule.
not willing to do something.
Didn't your mom tell you that?
Yeah.
Lady is.
Yes.
Anyway, next meeting is next Thursday in this room. They're moving it from Redmond.
As a cost saving measure, they uncoupled from COIC running the meeting anymore to save money. So, but now everybody has to come to bed. They were, having the meetings in Redmond, it was more centrally located, right, for Tri-County area, but it was kind of like, oh, okay, we'll save money, but you're driving more. So,
Yeah, I was just say.
Well, the room we met at Redmond Maintenance, that was a big room. It was hard to hear people because it was a huge room. The one at the City Hall last month, or in September, that worked out well. But anyway.
So I have a question sort of related to Terrebonne. Now, we are a little bit fortunate in that we get more updates from Sun River because of Mark on the committee. But we don't really have much outreach with that area. And I don't know if that's something that Redmond, if you guys are more familiar with what might be going on in Terrebonne as well? No, okay.
Megan,
Oh, Megan.
do you have any insider edge in the North County with your work up there sometimes?
I mean, that generally people are upset with the changes going on, but I mean, we already knew that, right? I don't know that I have
Okay.
anything outside of Fort Wayne.
Is there any point in trying to get some more engagement there? Or you feel like at COAC, Mark, you're kind of getting enough of that stretch there? Or is it kind of like, well,
We don't have COAC meetings every few months, and
Right.
this was, I think, really the first discussion on anything.
Are there any organized groups in Terrebonne that anyone is aware of? Okay, well, I guess it's.
With that,
Yeah. The voice is saying don't, maybe.
Okay. I know there's recently too, a fairly major accident up that way.
Yeah.
So, there's certainly some safety concerns. So I think that was a person trying to make an illegal cross and.
That was just north of Redmond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, in my opinion, and this should be not on the record, but I'm glad that the child and the other person in the car were not seriously injured by it, because it sounds like it was the woman who actually died's fault.
All unfortunate.
That's mean. I shouldn't say that.
Yes.
I just always think kids versus an 85-year-old person. It'd be safe.
Oh, Highway 97. It's like across that.
Yeah, there's a bad corridor.
yeah, and that's the constant message. Constant message, I think, in COAC, this with the Jefferson County people especially, is just that 97 is just deathly, you know, from well, I mean, you can say from Bend, but Redmond up to Madras and into Warm Springs, you know, is, it's just,
That whole,
they're acutely aware of that and want something to happen, but we feel that ODOT isn't as reactive as they would like them to be, for sure.
to fix all that, it's gonna take a whole lot more money than most people have.
Yeah.
It'd be like building I-5.
Yep, I mean, we're chunking away between Bend and Redmond. That's the priority for now. We're on phase, 4 right now of safety of getting that median barrier, but yeah, chipping away, but like you said, it's expensive. So-
Real expensive.
Okay, well,
Neil, you've got a couple of things on here. MPO and I don't know how I ended up with you with the Deschutes County TSAP, but you did.
I don't have anything to say about the TSAP, but the MPO has been meeting to has been mostly focused on creating a recommendation on what projects to allocate the MPO's state highway fund projects for. So it's a funding source that can be used for a variety of transportation related projects in the MPO. And this prioritization that we did was for fiscal years 28, 29, and 30. So the projects are still a couple years out. And I'll just give a high level of the projects that were in there. Commute Options had a Safe Routes to School education program, as did Ben Lapine School District. The Cascades East Transit had put in for a micro transit pilot into Deschutes River Woods. City of Bend had some travel options, assessment, education, and engagement, like programming funds, in their request, as well as 3 or 4 different sidewalk connection projects on 6th Street, Butler Market, Boyd Acres, and American Lane. Obviously, we couldn't fund all of them, but we went through a prioritization exercise, including some of those projects getting pulled by the applicant just because they had potential other sources of funding. But the policy board will meet at the end of the month to award those funds. So you won't actually see anything for a few years, but the funds will be allocated for that highway fund funding.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mark's not here, so COIC crash safety messaging, we haven't met since September. The next meeting's sometime this month or next month, I can't remember. I have to look my notes. So nothing new. Anything does anybody have anything, and I'm looking at you, Chris, of the Lava Butte Lapine Trail, anything other than it's now available for us the land is there? Mark was.
No, the project's moving forward, so we're getting ready to keep it moving forward. So we just need to do a new estimate now soon to see how close we are to targets compared to where
How far we can
were
get.
back when. But yeah, still on schedule for, like I said, I think now hope I'm not wrong on this, was either 27 winter to do the tree sales and then start construction in 28. Is that what I said earlier?
I don't
I think I'm going off.
You just.
You did
Out of here.
Yeah, you did. Wow.
I don't have the calendar in front of me. I didn't pull it up, so I'm sort of trying to recall which one it was. It's one of those two, but probably.
Can I throw out a little something for ODOT to look at?
Sure.
As we know, the irrigation districts are piping.
Yes.
Just north of the Knott Baker overpass is a canal that I know alongside the Old 9, they've piped all of that. And I think they're gonna pipe that section
under the
to
highway.
the south, and then it goes underneath 97, just north of not Baker. And I believe I remember, because I was on that not Baker interchange committee. And what came out of that was that the Ben Park and Rec was going to work with that irrigation district, and I forget who that is, to make that a bike path, a pedestrian bike path.
Right.
So if the Lava Butte Trail is going to start on the east side, just south of that overpass, I'm going to ask you to go through ODOT to look at what it would take to put a tunnel underneath the east side ramp.
Right.
To connect with that irrigation piped area that's now potentially going to be a bike pit.
Right, so we did include it. That's why I included it in the not interchange plan. It is identified as a potential multi-use path if it was being piped. If it is being piped under 97 now.
It's already piped under 97. The irrigation's already.
Okay,
piped
you're
under
right.
97.
Right, but the piping,
And I know that next to the old back 9 golf course,
yep,
they've piped all of that. So
okay,
now between, it's going to be from China Hat through where the old 9 was,
right,
up to where it connects into 97.
yes.
So that would just be unbelievable to have that whole thing connected.
That's why we have it on the plan. Henry's hopped off the call, but they're largely the drivers on the trail along that segment and potential trailhead development on that sort of, I'm gonna call it east
yeah.
corner.
Yeah.
So really that would sort of be the driver then on what would prompt that to happen. But yeah, we have it included in the interchange plan already.
Yeah, I knew it was discussed, but
Yeah.
I guess
Unfunded.
I'm raising the flag here to
Yep,
get other people
yeah.
in the know.
As a standalone project, just a tunnel, probably not feasible, but yeah, if we were doing the trailhead at the same time, that'd be the perfect time.
Yeah.
That's on the county TSP, that path along there as well, so. So. Yeah.
That would just tie things together so nicely.
Yeah. Mhm. That would be amazing.
Nice.
I just want to say that Ariel Mendez at the city council meeting yesterday made a point I think most of us would be interested in. The governor has not yet signed the ODOT funding bill. There is a group that is going to start collecting signatures as soon as that is passed to turn it to void it essentially. And if they collect enough signatures, then it will immediately stop any new funding from that bill going into effect until after the election for the referendum. So his point was, if you are supporting the new funding from the transportation bill, don't even sign the referendum, because even if it fails, it will delay that funding from being collected until the election. And that will be a big chunk of the transit increase in funding because it's got a calendar date expiration. So think hard before you sign that referendum if you don't really want to. If you're signing it just to allow an election, there could be some really negative consequences.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awkward. Anything else? Neil, good? Anyone online left? Okay, yeah,
Good.
meeting adjourned.
All right, thank you.
Mention talking about roundabout.
That's when, didn't get on it.
Sorry,
No.
meeting is here. Send it to me. Oh,